Hi. Okay, we're going to talk about the purpose. The purpose. Why conserve this sexual energy? Why preserve it? Why try to do something that seemingly goes against the whole grain, our whole instinct? Especially for guys. Many guys they've masturbated since they were 9, 10 years old and continue even till they die. So doing this for decades. Why stop doing it? And what about the euphoric hits that it gives when we do it, and the escape that it can give, so that we don't have to feel certain emotions, or when we feel or in a stressful situation, we just go masturbate. So why stop that? Why go through the withdrawal of trying to stop such a seemingly strong habit and seemingly innocent habit? Right? Because there's doctors, and you can see medical science that says, yeah, it's good for you. You're going to hurt your prostate if you stop doing this. I'm going to make a video on that too. There's all the, it relaxes you. It reduces stress levels. You get to know yourself better and what you like and don't like. I mean, there's so much justification and rationalization for a habit that we already seem propelled to do anyway. So then we get all this justification from medical science nonetheless. It just seems like, why even stop, right? But yet there's people who are trying to stop. There's thousands of videos on conserving our sexual energy or semen retention, or no fap, or whatever. So why do these people want to stop? So why do you want to stop? This is my question. This is a good question to contemplate, to see, like, why am I really wanting to stop? Do I just want to experience what it feels like to stop? Other people are saying it's good, so do I want to experience that myself? That's a good idea if you do. There's nothing like having actual experience. It's one thing to read about things and listen to people you trust, but nothing compares to actual experience, because then you know that you know that you know. You see, then you have power, and then when you speak, other people can feel that vibration. Even if you ask them about vibration and energy, and they say they don't know nothing about it. When someone's speaking truth, at least even those people unconsciously are aware when truth is being spoken. So those people, sometimes they can give you something. They're so solid in what they're saying that you may not need to go waste a bunch of time experiencing something for yourself. You see, because you trust them, especially if they're your guide or teacher, and they can save you a lot of trouble. Hence the importance of having a good guide. So why preserve this sexual energy? Now, some feel they're more clear on the answer to this question, and they've done it. They feel the confidence that comes, the willpower. They have more energy now to do things. There's a mental clarity. They notice they're getting more. They're more of an attractive being, and they see that reflected. If you're a guy, they see that reflected in women, the way they look at them now. But they also see it in guys too. They somehow get more respect now from guys. Maybe they've been offered opportunities at work or certain auspicious situations that they didn't get before. So they notice this, and then they want to capitalize on that, you see. So this is the thing. What's your main desire, though? If it's to make money and be successful, then you'll use the energy to do that, and you can definitely make more gains in that department, the material world department, than you would if you didn't preserve your energy. But there's some other beings who they already maybe have had a spiritual practice or meditation practice, and they've noticed that that's improved. And they're already at the point where they know, let's say they've already made some money and have achieved some success in the material world, and it's somehow they're bored with that. You know, they've been with enough girls, or they've gotten enough attention from women to where they're like, okay, it was nice, but is there anything more than this? And so then they realize, wow, I'm preserving my sexual energy, and I notice my meditations are better. I'm more calm when I meditate. There's more of an inner stability. It's easier to disengage from thoughts, and so that's their purpose for doing it. Because here's the thing, when we're in this human game, when the consciousness, which is what we are, when we're wearing this human garment, this virtual reality software, as I like to call it, it's all about energy management. We have limited energy. The consciousness itself, the pure consciousness, has no energy. It doesn't have a body to where it needs energy to fuel it. But when we're in these bodies, then we need energy. A car needs gas. This body needs gas. So we can't run on full throttle all the time. And we can't do, a million different things in one day. So we have to focus on, okay, what's important to me? What am I going to spend my energy on? And so then we start to prioritize our priorities. And those things that are important to us, those things that we have strong desire for, we divert our energy into those things. So depending where you're at, what stage you are in, and how many of your desires have already been fulfilled, that will determine what you do or don't do, or how you spend this energy. Because even a spiritual practice or meditation practice, it requires energy. Here's how. Because it looks like you just sit here. Oh, there's no energy. But if you're really, an authentic spiritual practice means that you're bringing to surface everything that's not real. Everything that you're identified with, that you thought was you, and you have all these hooks, inside these things, like I'm a guy, and I wanna learn more how to be a man, and I wanna go make I wanna be successful. I want others to recognize me. I want to have recognition, and I want to work out. I want to get buff, and all this stuff. At some point, those things are seen through, but the tendency to still go into those things, that can hang around for a while. So the purpose of a spiritual practice is to burn, you can say, the root of these tendencies. You say, we already know that they're not really true to our being. When we die, we're not going to take, doesn't matter how buff we are, we're not going to take that with us. We're not going to take our money with us. So when we know that before we die, which is another way of saying we die before we die. I want to make a video, I like that title. When burning those tendencies out, because they've been given so much power through the years, because we've been conditioned to think and believe these things for so long, and then also society propagates this because everyone else believes the same thing. So these tendencies have gotten really strong. So when we start to really look at them and see their unreality and feel, when we really do that, we start to feel the burning of these tendencies, because it's like there's a war. It's like our higher self knows they're not true and we want to get rid of them, but the lower nature, because we've cultivated this for so long, it's still intact. And so it's like still holding on to these tendencies. And so there's a certain purification or burning that we have to endure while these tendencies are dying. It's like an energetic death. Like that's what tendencies are, and desires. They're just energy. They're like energetic impressions that get filtered through the mind and then turn into emotions. It's like the tendency to do something, and then we feel the emotion, like, oh yeah, that would be nice. Like start to feel some pleasure, and then the body moves to try to accomplish that. This is how the whole thing works. So when we start to you can say, roast these tendencies. It's not, we're not doing it with will, it's happening automatically. When we put our attention on truth, anything that's not true starts to dissolve. This is how it works. That's how it works. That requires energy, you see. This burning, this, watching something burn, actually feeling a part of ourself burning because those things were attached to us. It's like a leech. If it gets attached to you and you burn it off, you might feel the burn. So that takes energy to go through that burning. And it takes energy to be clear and to really look sometimes with razor sharp focus on something. That takes energy to put our attention really on something, because our minds used to going all over the place and wandering. So we need energy to say, no, let's look. And then you start looking, and then things start surfacing, things that aren't true. And then they start to dissolve. See, all this is energy. So some people, they want to use, well, we have no choice. I used to say there can't be any sadhana or spiritual practice without either without brahmachari, which is a Hindu word for this, or semen retention. There just won't be any energy there to do it. We won't have any energy to focus. We'll give up because our will's weak. You know the story. So some beings, because they're at a point in their life, at a stage where this is what they want to dedicate their life for, especially if they've already lived half their life. If they've already been on the planet for 30, 40, 50 years, and they've maybe wasted a large portion of that on chasing material things, that now they realize, like, wow, this didn't do anything for me, because it's all temporary hits. You do something, you get some exalted, and then boom, down, and then you need something else, and they just keep doing this, and it's like, wait a minute, I want to get off this train. So these people have gotten off that train, and now it's not enough just to get off it. It's not like you get off the train and you're done. You get off the train, and then you start your new life, your new focus, which is spirituality. And so then that requires energy, and you have the sexual energy is one of the most highest, potent, powerful forms of energy that we can use to allow this transformation of ourselves. Transformation of ourselves means that this lower nature starts to get transformed in our higher nature. There starts to become unity. It's like the higher nature, the lower nature just gets dissolved into the higher nature, if we have to use words, All that requires energy. This is the point. Now, for some people, like, this is not everybody's at this stage. I used to not be at this stage. You couldn't, in my 20s, that's the thing, see, we can think we're doing something, because in my 20s, I was living in India, and I had a really authentic teacher, not a commercial teacher. I didn't pay him money or nothing. It's like something out of a story. I found him, or he found me, or found each other, and he was the real deal, and he's the one that, he was a true tantric brahmachari being. And he was trying to impart all this wisdom to me, and I was absorbing it with my mind. It all sounded good, but I wasn't living it. I was edging like crazy. I'm going to make a video on that next, because that's an important topic. So, but if you would have asked me, and also I was teaching yoga at the same time, and I was, wearing spiritual clothes, and, so if you would have asked me, I would have said, yeah, man, I'm full on brahmachari, semen retention. I'm using it to transform myself, and I really believed I was. And I was doing the best I could at the time. You see what I mean? Like, we can't skip this evolutionary track. We're all where we're supposed to be. I had to go through that in order to learn the subtleties of how ego and self-will was still playing through my character, even though at the time I didn't think it was. But now looking in retrospect, I can see big time how it was. So it's like we have to go through that so that then we can also recognize those stages in someone else. Otherwise, there would be nobody to facilitate this process for someone else. And there's something going through all these little things, it adds a certain level of depth to our being. Yeah, it's like, I don't regret anything, man. And there's something to be said for this whole evolutionary journey. It's not a waste of time. Some people say, why can't we just be done? Like, just be the consciousness. Because that's what we are. So what are we talking about here then? Who's trying to do what and get back to what if there's only consciousness? Now we're getting into like spiritual foo-foo stuff, right? This is what a lot of people, especially those on the self-inquiry and a Vitapath, they learn the rap in their mind, and then they just start quoting, everything's consciousness, we don't have to do anything, you know. I say, okay, well, why not masturbate then? And why cultivate any good habits, you know? And some of them do masturbate. I'm assuming, you know, when we're on semen retention, it's like, isn't it common sense? Like, don't everybody want to do this or do this? But no, they don't. So, lastly, in summary, you somehow these words are going to get spoken to those who are supposed to hear them. And even though at that time in my 20s, I wasn't really ready to embark on this level the way that my life is now, hearing those words from my teacher and reading these things from books, it helped still, you see. So anytime anyone's sharing the truth or authenticity, it's helping. It doesn't matter what level anyone's at, it's helping somehow, because all of this knowledge that's being shared, it's inside everybody already anyway. The question is, how dormant is it? You see, the less dormant it is, then the more that the energy behind these words will awaken those truths that are already in somebody. The less dormant this knowledge is in somebody, the quicker it can awaken when you hear these things, because you already know it. The more dormant these things are, then the more work, the more we have to hear this over and over again, because we're competing with our strong desire to stay stuck in our lower nature or ego, whatever. But still, anybody who's in a field of satsang is getting some kind of benefit. It's just a question of how much and how long it will take and all that stuff. Yeah, it doesn't matter. In the end, it's all good, you know. So I hope you got something from that. And I've started labeling my chapters, as you can see, so then those who want to, you know, you have the flexibility to skip to those subjects you feel pertain to you the most. I like that too when I would see videos that did that, because sometimes I just want to know some specific thing. You know, I don't want to look for it in the video. So that idea came to me and I implemented it, as you can see. All right, I think we're good. Have a good day, and I'm going to make a video on edging. Talk to you soon.